Greetings to all my dear students. In this video lesson, we will have a revision class of the poetry My Mother at 66 written by Kamla Das. So let's move ahead with the class. My Mother at 66 has been written by the poet Kamla Das. Now, as I've told you earlier, she wrote by her pen name, that was Madhavi Kuti. She was born in Kerala and is one of India's first poets. She was also a feminist. Her subject matter is basically related to her personality: beautiful, sensitive, bold, and tormented. External factors do not reflect in her writings. That is, her writings bring out her true inner feelings. In the previous video, the lesson that I taught you, I also told you that she wrote in a confessional mode. That is, she was not hesitant to accept her inner feelings, even if they went against the societal norms. Students, there are certain things that you need to remember regarding the poetry, some important points related to the poem. First one, this poem is based on mother-daughter relation, and the poet shares her feelings for her mother. So this poetry, this poem has been written by a daughter for her mother regarding what she feels about her mother. Second point, in this poetry, we see the fear of narrator of losing her mother due to declining health and loss of energy which accompanies old age. Now, old age is something that is natural and inevitable. Still, as a child, how we fear losing our parents, that feeling has been subtly expressed through this poem. Third point, inevitability of death. However strong we are, however powerful we are, we cannot escape death. Therefore, inevitability or man's inability to stop death and aging has been expressed by the poet in this piece of poetry. So therefore we can see her helplessness, that how she cannot prevent her mother from aging, and if she is aging, it means she is approaching towards her death, and the poet can do nothing about it. That is why inevitability of death. Next point, universal theme of losing a loved one. As you saw in the poetry, in the poem Photograph also, that there also a daughter was lamenting the loss of her mother. Similarly, losing a loved one is painful and it is universal. So that theme has been expressed through this poem. Now, mental process or consciousness of the poet. Students, one thing you have to remember, the poet does not speak to her mother or talk to her mother till the end of the poetry. The only words that she says to her mother is, "See you soon, Amma." Apart from that, she does not talk to her mother. So whatever we are reading as the stanzas of our poetry, the first few stanzas, they are nothing but the thought process, the stream of consciousness of the poet. So here we get to see the thought process of the poet. Her mother does not know about it. So whatever we get to know, that is not the words, rather they are the thoughts of the poet. And last point, that she has optimistic attitude. When she says, "See you soon, Amma," it means that she hopes to see her mother once again when she returns back. So although the poetry is written in a very sad note, sad tone, but the ending is hopeful and it is optimistic too. So let's begin with the text part now. The title is My Mother at 66. So it is about a mother who is 66 years old and she's aging and she's approaching towards her death. So what are the poet's thoughts for this? The text part. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday. The poet is going to Cochin to the airport. From her parents' home, she is driving. I saw my mother beside me, and the mother of the poet, she is sitting beside her. Doze means she's asleep, open mouthed. She's so asleep that her mouth is open. Her face ashen like that of a corpse. Corpse means a dead body, and realized with pain. So she has this sudden realization. So let's talk about the poetic devices that are inherent in the poetry. First one is ashen like that of a corpse. So here we see the use of simile. Here the mother has been, or rather the sleeping mother has been compared to a corpse or a dead body. So comparison between two things using like. So it is a poetic device known as simile. So here one more poetic device I taught you, that is epiphany, sudden realization of something. So here the poet suddenly realizes something, and what is it? We will see now. Students, we just discussed about epiphany. Now we'll discuss about one more poetic device, that is enjambment. It means running over of a line or thought into the next line without a strong break or pause. So when you see this poetry, no particular line is complete in itself. It means words or ideas are carried over from one line to the other without any punctuation mark or without any pause. It means the lines of the stanzas are not complete sentences. They need the help of the proceeding or the successive lines to complete their meanings. So that is known as enjambment. So if you read this poetry, you'll feel that the poetry is nothing but a single linear conversation that the poet does. So here one more example you can see of enjambment, that is taken from some other piece of poetry. Now text part again. So the poet realizes something, that she was as old as she looked. So this is the sudden realization. The poet realizes that her mother is getting old, and this realization makes her feel sorrowful because if her mother is getting old, it means she is approaching towards her death with every passing moment. So she gets very gloomy and sad about this thought, but soon put that thought away. So students, this is human tendency that we want to escape the negative things or the negative experiences of our life. Therefore it is same with the poet. She too wants to escape this situation, so she looks at things, or she looks at images which are quite contrary to the old aging mother. And two images have been given here. First one, young trees sprinting. So sprinting means running, so but it does not mean that the trees were literally running on the road. Here a poetic device has been used, that is personification. So here, along with personification, if a visual imagery has also been used, because if you're sitting in a moving vehicle, you can see that, or rather it will appear to you that the trees are moving. So this is one of the images. The second one is merry children spilling out of their homes. So children who are very happy, who are very energetic, then trees which are sprinting, which, or rather which appear to be running. So these two images are in stark contrast or opposition to the old aging mother who is sitting beside the author, who is asleep and who appears to be like that of a corpse. But after the airport's security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her. But you cannot escape the reality for a very long period of time. So therefore the poet again looks at the mother, and she again notices her wan. Wan means discolored, pale. So she sees the texture of her skin. She sees that her mother is losing vigor and vitality day by day because of the old age. So the mother's skin was wan and pale as a late winter's moon. Again, you see here a comparison has been done between the pale and dull skin of the mother, which appears to be like of a winter's moon. So a winter's moon, you can see the picture also here. It is very dull. It lacks shine. It lacks luster. And therefore, she compares her mother with that. A poetic device that has been used here, that is Again, simile, because two things have been compared using as. So again, when she sees her mother, she again felt that old familiar ache. Ache means pain. So as children, we always fear losing our parents, and that fear is somehow subdued in our mind. However old we are, that pain is still there lingering in our mind. So that is why her childhood fear of losing her mother, of losing a parent, that again retaliates, it comes back. But she does not express all these feelings to her mother. Students, I told you that this poetry is based on stream of consciousness technique, which means the lines that we are reading are the thought process of the poet rather than the words that she speaks. So the only words that she speaks, or the only thing that she tells her mother is, see you soon, Amma. So she once again, however old the mother is, a child will always hope to see the parent once again when they come back. So the poetry, it ends on an optimistic tone. She hopes to see her mother once again when she returns back, and all I did was smile and smile and smile. Here repetition of the word smile has been done to emphasize that how hard is the poet trying to hide her true feelings. Although she is smiling, but inside there is a fear that she might not be able to see her mother when she comes back. But she always hopes that she would see her mother when she comes back. So that is how the poetry ends. That was all about the text part. Use of poetic devices is very, very important in this poem. You should always take care of the poetic devices. You have to see that where are the poetic devices used, and how do they enhance the beauty of the particular poetry. This is it for today's class. For discussion of question answers, you can refer to the original video lesson. Thank you and all the best for exams.